Hi, my name is Lettie and I create brushes, workbooks and tutorials for Procreate. If you've been here before, you'll know that I have a sweet spot for cute characters. We have already painted a cute penguin, a cute but weird sheep, a cute naughty cat. How about a cute Easter bunny for today? As usual, the only thing you need to follow along with this tutorial is an iOS device and Procreate. But if you support me on Patreon or Gumroad, make sure to download the color palette and workbook with my sketches and written instructions. You'll find the links in the description below. We are going to use only one brush again, the fantastic dry ink, which is a default brush, so all of you have it in the inking set, okay? Step 1. Background and foreground elements. We are going to start painting the static elements, or what is the same, the background and foreground elements. Just like we did in the Peekaboo animation tutorial, remember? In this case, we will paint a basket and a lot of Easter eggs because Easter is coming. Oh wait, when are you watching this video? Is it Christmas already? Well, then draw presents instead of eggs. Nope. Spring, you say? Then draw flowers. It's Valentine's Day again? Then go watch my cute Valentine's penguin tutorial. You watch it already, don't ya? Then draw hearts instead of eggs. Well, let's get started. If your iPad lets you create many layers, use one layer per egg. If it doesn't, do not worry about a thing. You can draw them on the same layer. And then just be careful when adding details. I will be duplicating layers instead of creating new ones because this way they already have the right name. I am only going to use these colors on the entire illustration and only the dry ink brush, okay? So the process is very simple. Pick a color and draw the outline of the egg. It doesn't need to look perfect. And then fill the shape, preferably using the brush instead of the color drop tool. This way we get a nice hand-drawn texture. Then pick a different color and a different layer. Outline the egg and fill in the shape. Easy peasy, right? Wait a minute. Why is the green egg behind the beige one? Let's rewind. There. Well, because the beige egg is drawn on the top layer and the green on the one below. And the layers panel is like a deck of cards. Okay, let's pick up where we left off. Different layer, different color, outline, and fill. And repeat until all the eggs are done. Of course, feel free to rearrange the egg layers if you think any of them look better behind or in front. And also, you can draw the ones in the basket on the same layer, because they don't overlap each other. Well, the first part is done. Now comes the fun part. To decorate the eggs, we are going to use Alpha Lock. Slide with 2 fingers to the right on a layer to activate it. A checked pattern should appear on the layer thumbnail. Although, for some reason, sometimes you will have to repeat the gesture a few times until it works. If it doesn't, you can also access it through the Layers option menu. In any case, be sure you got the checked pattern before you start decorating the eggs. As you see, alpha lux allows us to draw only inside of the shape that is already drawn on the layer, in this case, the eggs. This part of the egg is inside the basket, so we don't need to decorate it. Let's paint a few dots on the blue one. This part will be hidden, so let's decorate the next. Some stripes for this one. In Procreate, there are 3 ways to paint inside an existing shape without going outside the lines. Using the selection tool, alpha lock, and creating a clipping mask, which is what we are going to do now. Let's decorate the brown egg. Create a new layer, tap on it, and then choose clipping mask. Now we can't go outside of the borders. Well, actually we can, but we won't see what we paint outside the lines unless we turn it into a normal layer again. You might be wondering why Procreate has 2 tools that do the exact same thing. Well, they are actually different. While we can easily get rid of what we painted on a clipping mask just by tapping on the visibility checkbox, if we want to undo or modify the decoration we did for the turquoise egg, we will have to repaint it and start over. That's why I usually recommend using clipping masks, unless we don't have many layers available. As you see, we use 2 layers to decorate an egg with this method. The cool thing is that we can attach as many clipping masks as we want to a layer. So we can try on different decorations. How about a polka dot pattern? Now we can turn on and off the visibility of the 2 patterns and decide which one we like best. Let's skip this one. The eggs are done, so let's paint the basket. Basket layer, golden ochre, same brush but bigger, and let's paint. These eggs are in the basket, so let's move them just below the basket layer. There. Let's continue painting in fast mode. We need to get this done before Easter, so we must hurry up. Go to the handle layer and paint the handle on it. We need a beautiful bow for our Easter basket. So, on the bow layer and with the light salmon color, just paint a medium-sized bow. You can add a pattern to it using any of the masking methods we learned before. In this case, I'll keep it solid and just outline it with the dark salmon color. I usually do the line work on a different layer, but since this is a very simple design and I know many of you are not used to working with many layers, and even some of you don't have many layers available on your iPad, right? Well, we will keep it as simple as possible. In any case, if you have any questions at all, feel free to let me know in comments, okay? Let's outline the basket as well. First, the handle. Don't forget to change the color. As you can see, I rotate the canvas continuously to draw the curved lines more easily. Try to do this. You'll see how your curves and strokes in general look less wobbly. By the way, if you want to add patterns or details, do so before outlining, especially if you are outlining on the same layer. In any case, as I said before, I recommend using clipping masks. You can always draw something on the clipping mask, and if you like what you have done, just merge the layers later. Okay, let's change the color again and outline the rest of the basket. Optional step, shadows. Too many layers for your taste? Let's tidy up our layers panel. The bow, the handle, and these three eggs will be in the background during the whole animation. They won't change, so we can merge these two, select the eggs, and merge them too. Now they are all on the same layer and they are all background elements. So let's rename this layer. Background elements. The rest of them are foreground elements. We can merge them all too, but if you feel comfortable working with layers, I recommend painting the shadows before merging. How would we do that? Well, creating a new layer just above each element, setting its blend mode to multiply, lowering the opacity, turning the layer into clipping mask, painting the shadow of that element, and repeating with the rest of them. Okay? This would give us better results, but it takes much more time. So we are going to merge everything if it wants to. Now, rename the layer foreground elements. And let's turn off alpha lock and create a clipping mask for painting the shadows. Lower the opacity to about 25% and set the blend mode to multiply. Rename the layer, shadows. Duplicate the layer so we don't need to configure it again for the shadows of the background elements. Move it here and turn it into a clipping mask. We are going to use purple for all the shadows. Let's start with the bow. Just imagine where the light is coming from and paint a simple shadow on the opposite side. Nothing fancy, just a few strokes here and there will do the trick. Now the handle of the basket and the eggs. Go to the shadows layer of the foreground elements and do the basket. And the eggs. Since all the eggs are on the same layer, we will need to be more careful, but it's okay if they don't look perfect. The core shadows are done. So now we are going to create a new layer just below the foreground elements layer for painting the cast shadows. Same settings, multiply, 25% opacity, and let's rename the layer. Cast shadows. And well, drawing these are even easier. An oval at the bottom of each egg. Yep, that will do. Optional step, extra details. What if we write Happy Easter on the eggs? Create a new layer above the shadows layer and set its blend mode to linear burn. Now just color pick the color of the egg and write down the letter. The color will look darker because of the blend mode we applied to the layer. The A goes on the yellow egg. We need another layer above the other shadows layer. Same settings and same process. Color pick and write. Make sure you paint the letters on the right layer. Well, you'll notice if you're not painting on the right layer. If you're painting and you can't see your strokes, you're definitely painting on the wrong layer. Okie dokie, our background and foreground elements are done. We are not going to change anything, so we can save some layers by merging the background related layers on one side and the foreground related layers on the other. You'll see that weird things happen, but don't worry, we can fix this easily by setting the blend mode to normal. This layer lost its name in the merge. Let me rename it again. Good. And now move it into the foreground frame. It is at the very top of the layers panel. The background elements are in place, so we are ready to take the next step. Step 2. Frame by frame animation. Frame 1. Looking for the eggs. Now we are going to draw the moving elements that in this animation are the bunny and some flying eggs. In the first frame will be no flying eggs yet, only a cute bunny looking for Easter eggs inside the basket. This time I am going to do the line art first. I am going to draw a bunny, but feel free to draw any other cute animal. If you are working on the workbook, you can even keep the same proportions as me. Well, let's draw the bunny. I really like this brush. It is very easy to use, it has a nice texture and makes illustration look like they were done with a traditional medium. Along with my watercolor brushes, this is one of my go-to brushes. What is your go-to brush? Let me know in the comments. Okay, line art done. Now, base color. It will be this one for me. In Procreate, it is useful to paint the entire shape with a flat color, because this way we can block in things easily in that shape using a clipping mask or alpha lock. I use clipping mask to add the pattern, blush, on the cheeks, eye color, and any other details on my characters. In this project, I am only using one clipping mask for all of that because we are in saving layers mode. And well, since the design is so easy, if we make a mistake or change our mind later about a color or something else, we'll be able to modify it effortlessly, even when everything is on the same clipping mask. Okay, if you want to add color to your line art, once more, you can use the selection tool, alpha lock, or a clipping mask. I'll use a clipping mask. I like the color of the lines a bit darker than the color of the fill, so I'll choose this one. Increase the brush size, all this will take us ages, and just go over the line. You can also use this method when you want to create lineless art, but you also want clean edges. The only thing different will be the color of the line, which should be the same as the fill. For this part, I'll use this color, just a bit darker than the spots. Let's add a different color to the nose. This color makes it look cuter. And let's change the color of the tooth as well. This light gray looks perfect for that. Now merge all the layers. Go to the shadow layer and turn it into clipping mask. Pick the violet color from the color palette and paint some shadows here and there, just like we did with the eggs and the basket earlier. This is done, so let's go to the next frame. Frame 2. The bunny found the eggs. The difference between the first frame and the second is the eggs. The bunny is in the same pose, so go to the previous frame, duplicate the bunny layer, drag it and release it on the frame 2 group. Here it is, just where we want it, at the bottom of this group of layers, because all the eggs must be drawn in front of the bunny so we can see them. Okay, we will start drawing the egg that is closer to the bunny's body. Mine will be yellow. And we will use Alpha Lock for painting the pattern. Some white flowers for me. As usual, paint the shadow on a different layer. And just repeat the steps. Base color, pattern, shadows for all the eggs. The eggs are levitating right now. We need to draw the bunny's paws on a new layer. Base color, one leg, and the other. Change the color for painting the outline. And voila! The bunny is now holding the eggs. Next frame. Frame 3. Getting ready for the launch. In this frame, the bunny is in a different pose and the eggs are almost in the same place, just a little bit up. So, go to the previous frame, select the eggs layer, group them, and rename the group. Groups of layers allows us to modify multiple layers at once. They are especially useful to duplicate and move layers easily. In this frame, the eggs need to be placed between the bunny's body layers and its paws. The layer is in place, but its content needs to be a little bit up. Nothing we can't fix using the transform tool. Now turn off the visibility of the eggs layer temporarily, so we can paint the bunny in the new pose. Since you know how to do this already, let's just play the time-lapse video. Ta-da! Let's make the eggs fly. Frame 4. The bunny and the flying eggs. In the fourth frame, as you see, we have a super happy bunny and the eggs are flying. I have drawn the trajectory of each of the eggs so that you do not have any doubts about where to place them in the next frames, okay? But to make eggs fly, we need them on this group first. Duplicate the eggs group and move it, and move it here. Well, let me draw the happy bunny. I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, happy bunny done. Now we can put the eggs in place. Use the arrow at the right of the group to expand it. Select the egg 5 layer and its clipping mask. Then use the transform tool to move it to its new position. We have two options now. If you find this tricky, you can drop the egg without rotating it. But I recommend rotating it a bit on each frame to make the drop look more natural. To rotate it, just drag the green node at the top of the bounding box. Now we also need to modify the shadow a bit, so that when we play the animation, it's not the same shadow on the same part of the egg. Again, we don't need it to be perfect, just different and consistent, okay? We will do the same with the next egg and its shadow. Transform tool, move it there, rotate it a bit, and now let's select only the shadow and rotate it a bit in the opposite direction. A bit down. That looks good to me. Well, just repeat the same steps with the rest of the eggs and their shadow layers. Once you finish, go to the next frame. Frame 5, 6, 7. The eggs are moving. The eggs are moving. Na 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 na. In this frame and the next, we are going to keep moving the eggs to their next position, as if this were a stop motion movie, okay? All we have to do from now on is go to the previous frame, duplicate all the elements, and move them to the next frame. Let's merge these two layers because the shadow of the bunny won't change. Then duplicate the bunny. Duplicate the eggs group. Select them both and move them to the next frame. Move the instructions above to see the frame template better. And now you know what you have to do. Move the eggs to their next position. Easy peasy. This is done. Frame 6. Same steps. Duplicate, duplicate, select, drag, and release onto the next frame. Expand the group and keep moving the eggs. Frame 7. Frame 8. Frame 9. In this frame, we will get rid of the yellow egg because it falls behind the foreground eggs. So unless we make it bounce, we won't see it again. It's most likely smashed to bits back there, right? Anyway, the thing is, it won't show up in the next frames either. So just delete it and continue moving the rest of the eggs to their next position. Frame 10. In this frame, egg 1 will disappear too. We will delete egg 1 layer and its shadow and imagine it is safe and sound behind the foreground eggs. Okay, now we have to make a decision. Do we want the green egg to fall in front or behind the bunny? If you responded in front, keep the layers where they are. And if you said behind, just drag them and release them right on the frame 10 group. So it automatically sits at the bottom of the group, just below the bunny layer. Frame 11. Delete egg 2 and keep moving the other 2. We are almost done. In the next frame, both the green and the violet eggs will disappear. So we only want to duplicate the bunny layer and move it into the frame 12 group. All our frames are done. See? So what we have to do now is to have the animation ready to export and share. Go to Actions, Canvas, and toggle on Animation Assist. Go to your frame thumbnails at the bottom and tap on the rightmost one. Set it as your foreground. Now tap on the leftmost frame and then on the background toggle. Finally, tap Play to check out your animation. The movement of the eggs looks fluid, but we need to slow down the bunny's movements. Tap on the first frame, then set the hold duration to 1. Tap on the third frame and set the duration to 3. 3 semi-transparent frames will appear. They are the same frame, see? So we will see it longer when we play the animation. Set the duration of frame 12 to 3 as well. Let's hit play again. Now it looks better to me. So let's pause it and get rid of the templates. Well, let's crop the canvas first. Go to Actions, Canvas, and tap on Crop and Resize. Tap on Settings and make your canvas square. Or maybe not. It seems that Procreate likes it better as is. I'll try again. It seems it works now. Okay, done. Square canvas is set. Done. Now open your Layers panel. We want to get rid of the templates. So we have to select all the instructions layers. and delete them. Perfect! Now go to Actions, Share, and choose any of the animated formats. For example, animated MP4, for you to share on Instagram and tag me so I can see it. As always, a huge thank you to all my Patreon and Gumroad supporters. Without you, I would not be able to continue teaching digital art. Well, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!